I'm Jace.
I'm Berjo.
I'm Christina.
And I'm Andrea.
And we're from What We Did on the Weekend, and we're
Interviewing LACUNA COIL.
Hi.
Oh, yeah.
at Good Things Melbourne 22. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
When was the last time you were in Australia? It's been a while.
2016.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
16.
We were supposed to come back in 2020, but then
Corona
we all know what happened.
But bit going on in your camp. New album. Well,
A remix
new old album.
New old
Oh, it's
album.
not a remix. It's a completely. It's a brand new record.
They call it rework.
We rewrote the music, re-recorded everything, music, vocals. We
It's good.
basically kept the lyrics the same, but the rest
Yeah.
changed.
Updated.
Yeah,
it's
very
good.
much so.
Yeah.
A lot changes in 20 years then.
Hey, the core is still the same, but obviously, you're a different person. We wanted to update it as we would have wrote it in 2022, taking advantage of technology as well. You know, the
100%,
sounds that we have
massive
nowadays.
difference,
There's different lineup as well.
What's really surprising is that obviously it was a big challenge for us because we were touching all the grounds, remaking a record that it's become a classic for LACUNA COIL fans.
Yeah, correct.
So we took some risks because we were afraid that, people would say like, oh my God, why on earth you decided to redo a classic record? But now it's surprising because fans are confused because they don't know anymore which version they like better. They liked it a lot, so that makes us happy.
Yeah, we had a pretty good response. We knew that it could have been a little risky to do this, but we felt it was important to give something more than just a remaster of the record, which is basically just compressing the files and make it sound louder. That's all you do.
Yeah.
So you say for 20 years, such an important, iconic record, we could try because we've done something similar a few years ago. We did a show in London, England, called the 119 show for the 20th anniversary of the band, and we had to rearrange some of the songs from the first EP in order to play them for the live show. And since those records were recorded in analog, we didn't have the file, so we had to go back, listen, and re-record everything, rearrange a little bit everything to make it sound better with the rest of the music. And so we already experienced that we could do a good job by doing that. That's why we trusted Marco, our bass player, to just go back and re-record everything, re-listen to everything.
It's good.
Thank you.
How's it feel to go back and listen to those analog versions as well, and then re-record?
It feels so
re-record from
strange.
here?
It feels so strange because of obviously we wrote them. So when we play the new versions and then we skip, just like that's kind of awkward. But we decided to put both versions. Like if you actually purchase the record, you have the old one and the new one because the new versions are not a substitution of something that meant so much for us.
Yeah.
It's just a different point of view.
Well, what Marco, which is what Marco had to do, it was first he had to re-record the original versions of the songs because we don't have the separate files. So to understand what was the keyboard we're doing, the double guitar we're doing, so he had to re-record everything. We re-record all the vocals, original version, and then from there Marco started to re-elaborate everything, and we then re-record new vocals, different arrangements and stuff like that.
Lots of work.
So it's pretty much making
It's almost like a new record. It's almost like making a new
It was kind of stressful, to be honest.
The only good thing is that we don't have to rewrite the lyrics, which is kind of painful, to do.
Yeah. But it was stressful because we wanted to make it right.
Yeah. So your fans are very passionate.
Very
Passionate.
Extremely passionate, yes.
We get that a lot in Australia, because everyone's pretty relaxed with fan bases in Australia. They love bands, but that's it. Yeah. Whereas European bands my God.
Oh yeah, Europeans are
travel
going
for shows, every show, people do full runs.
Yeah, we got some fans that see us over 100 times.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's great, and they battle each other. The people from the hardcore fan club. I saw them 120, only 90. You're not good enough fans.
It is true.
That's very good.
So then
and
you get
they're
the
flying
Aussie
over.
fans.
We're
The Aussie
friends
fans.
from.
I've seen you 8 times, they'll say.
Yeah, that's good.
Every time you've been here.
It's more than what I've done for any other band, because I've seen some bands we've seen a lot because we tour with them, so I've seen them many times. But other than that, normally I would see a band maybe 3-4 times in their career, But,
And some of them are crossing countries for real. Every time we play in Europe, there are people from the States, Australia, Chile, Israel, like everywhere, all around the world. Which is great. That's what concert should be. You know, of course, you're a performer, you're on stage, but usually the crowd should be a melting pot of different people who enjoy to go on a gig together.
And one thing
we'd have to take a home loan to do that.
Oh man, so expensive.
Actually, we did a show in Milan, in our hometown in Italy, a couple of months ago for the Coma is released, and we played the all new versions of the song plus some classic songs, and we had people from all over the place. You know, we did a special meet and greet the day before where we introduced them to our original practice room where we wrote Coma. We wrote all the ideas, we listened to the demos, so the place we used to have back then, you know, and then we showed them a little bit of memorabilia from the time, from the history of the band, and we had a little documentary about how we made Coma as well, so it was pretty cool.
Awesome.
So not just a show, just like a full celebration of the 20
years.
Yes,
we really do appreciate our fans. I mean, I know a lot of bands do, but for us it's really important, you know, we consider part of the extended family because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them, and we never forget it.
After all this year is that one of the most important thing beside the songs, beside becoming known or famous or sign an autograph or make some money, what is going to stay is the relationship between the band and the people, you know, the music.
It's the legacy you leave.
Of what the music has done for them in their lives, and what in exchange we got to experiencing traveling around the world and meeting people, and that's the most important thing of a career, I think.
Yeah, that's good. I love it. We've got some strange questions for you.
Here we go.
What was your first band's name?
The very first one, Ethereal.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, Ethereal as the first lineup of Lacuna Coil.
Oh, okay.
Before Lacuna Coil, they were already in a band.
The very first band, me and Mark, our bass player, we know each other since the skateboarding days. So when we were like 14 years old and something like that. And our very first band was sort of a punk rock. We call it metal, but it was more like punk rock because we weren't really able to play metal. And it was called Arachnophobia.
That's not a bad name.
It was taken from a horror movie back in the 80s. And then we got Sleep of Right was the second, which is a grammatical mistakes, because what we meant was Sleep of Reason, which is from Goya, you know, the Sleep of Reason generates monster. That was the phrase, but our English was so bad that we made it Sleep of Right instead of Reason, which still kind of makes sense. But it was.
At least they're good names.
It sounds good.
There's some terrible names.
All the bands we interviewed, there's some bad band names. So
we get points.
Oh, absolutely.
Nice.
You're on the leaderboard.
What's one of the wildest things you've seen at a festival?
Wildest thing at a festival? Oh yeah, well, there are many that we can talk about.
I remember once
we've seen a lot of
we were
parties.
doing a signing session. I don't remember if it was in Wacken in Germany or in America. I don't remember, honestly. But a guy came with a wheelchair. He hanged on the barrier. We were signing on the other side of the barriers. And took off one of the wheels of the wheelchair and put it on the table to be signed.
To get it signed. But I remember, like, Ozfest was pretty wild because Jägermeister was a sponsor, and basically every day you would play in different time slots from 9:20 in the morning to like 3-4 in the afternoon, and sometimes. After playing at 9:20, you would go to the Jägermeister tent to sign posters, and they were bringing shots. So I remember, interesting times.
Your signature just gets worse and worse every shot.
Who knows?
Yeah, I remember in San Francisco, one day I was so wasted that they had to drag me back to the tour bus. And I was like taking the t-shirt off and letting the people go wild. And oh God, you can't do this. You have to stop. The police is coming. So they took me back to the bus, and I went to bed. And I woke up the next morning at 12. So I slept 24 hours.
It was kind of brutal. It was kind of brutal, but good times.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I have a lot of interesting footage. Let's say that people will never see from that. From that festival.
Just start a Patreon and post it.
Maybe, you know.
So you travel a lot. You wouldn't drive ever. Do you use Uber?
We do use Uber.
Mostly in the States.
Yeah.
Because
do you know your Uber rating?
the rate, my personal rate is 5, and then we have 1 for the company. I'm nice. I try to keep it clean.
5.
We always thank.
Yeah, I don't use it personally. I only use it with the band usually when we're on tour.
That we're like.
I like to drive my car when I'm home. So.
Yep.
Well, we're getting the wrap up. So welcome back to Australia.
Thank you.
6 years in the making. Hope you had the best time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Hopefully
a lot, guys.
you can do a headline run.
Hopefully.
The next record when we have a full new record.
Yep.
Welcome back anytime.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.